Today we're going to work with the blend tool. I have my stroke at 3 points and it is green. And to change the width profile, I'm going to click stroke. And at the bottom, I've got our width profiles and I'm going to choose profile 1. Next, I want to draw with the pen tool. So I'm going to click once here, click and drag to make that a little bit curved, let go, and press escape. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to click my line once, click here, I want to curve that. I'm going to let go of the handle and press escape. Now on the left, I'm going to click my blend tool. But first I want to use my direct selection arrow, and I want to select both of these. So I have them both highlighted. Then I'm going to click my blend tool. I'm going to click on the first line, and if you see there is an asterisk mark. And then when I click the second line, there is a plus mark. And in between there is how we will do the blends. Now in this case, I wanted to do a total of 12 steps in between. So I'm going to go back to my blend tool and double click. In this example, I want to do a blending of specified steps, and I want to do 12. And I'm going to click OK, and now we've added those. All right, and the last part on step 5 is using the direct select tool, the white point. We can click and drag these so they meet, and then over here we can click each of these so they meet. For the next one, I find it easier to go ahead and create my gradient first. If you notice, the fill color is empty and I only have the stroke selected. So just like we did before, I'm going to use the pen tool, and I'm going to click once, click a second time, and then kind of curve here, press escape. I'm going to click here a second time, press here, curve, and escape. So now I have 2 lines that both have gradients. All right, I'm going to double click my blend tool. And in this example, we want to do a specified steps of 30, and this is for the head of the jellyfish. So just like we did before, I've got my blend tool, and I'm going to click my direct selection arrow and highlight each of these so they're both selected. So now I'm going to click again with the blend tool. The first one will have the asterisk, and then I'll go and click the second line with the plus sign, and then it will go ahead and make all of the lines in between. Okay, and then I can hit escape to pause that, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the legs. Okay, so I've drawn my first line, and remember I can hold the Alt key and drag over, and maybe that may make it a little bit quicker. I can also use the bounding box and try to resize each of these. Another thing I can do with the gradient, with my gradient menu option, is I can click right here to reverse the gradient. So now the colors may be a little bit different. And I'll just follow the same steps over here for the 3 tentacles. For me with the tentacles, I find it's easier to maybe make these about 6 in between. So I'm going to highlight these. I'm going to go to my blend tool, double click, make my specified step 6, click my first one, and then click the second one with the plus, and they've added in there. Now again, if that's a little bit too much, maybe I want to go back and maybe only do 4 steps. Okay, so after you make this, you can go back and change it. Okay, now I need to go back with my direct select arrow and click on both of these. Now that they're selected, I can click my blend tool, the first tentacle, the second tentacle, and again, I can go back and double click, and maybe here I want to make these 4 to look a little bit different. For the next example, I've started with 2 different shapes in 2 different colors, a circle and a green star. So I'm going, need to do these in the direct select tool. Just a side note here, if we wanted to round the corners here, this is in the live mode, we could do this and we could go and curve the corners if we wanted to. So just a little side note there with the live corners. So again, we're going to select both of these. We're going to go to our blend tool. And this one maybe we want to choose somewhere between 30 and 40 steps. Click the first one and the second one, and they will go ahead and blend all the way through. Now to make a polygon, I've selected my polygon tool, but I want to double click on the polygon first. And on this one, I want to do a total of 6 sides. Okay, and then I'm going to want to fill it with empty and add a stroke. And then I can do Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and I've got a small one. And I'm going to hold the Shift key down so I keep that constrained. Click and move that over here, and I want to go ahead and change the stroke color. And then another thing I want to make sure I do is align these. So I can hold my mouse and select both of these. And then over here in the Align panel, I will want to horizontal align them. Now I can do the same process we've been doing all along. Select those. In the blend options, we're going to do maybe 4, 5, 6 steps. Maybe I'll try 6. There we go. Actually, that's one of my favorite ones I've done so far. For the final one, I made a very small circle. I went ahead and filled it with a gradient at 90 degrees. Now I'm going to hold my Alt key and drag this over twice. I'm going to want 3 different circles, and each with a different gradient. You can use a top color of a bright color, and then maybe the bottom one use white. For me, I'm just trying to do the same color scheme, but just from a light version and a dark version. Okay, so now I have my 3 circles. Again, I'm going to click and drag through here to highlight all 3 of these. And over here in Align, I want to vertically align them. And over here, step 3, I want to select the 3 circles and go over here to Object, Blend, and Make. So this is where we're going to go to Object, Blend, and Make. And we're going to use a total of 400. So specified steps are going to be 400. And again, on these, make sure you also do not have a stroke. All right, next we're going to need to use the brush tool to add some text. Okay, so I've written out the word love. All right, so now I'm going to select both of the thing and my word here. Okay, and then I'm going to go to Object, Blend, and then we're going to choose Replace Spine. Okay, and then my text is a little bit closer, so now they have gone and finalized and replaced that spine. Thanks for another great tutorial from Southern Lake.